everyone, Josh here with Texas bringing you another OUTERPLANE video, and today we're going to be doing our tradition here, and that is summon or skip. We got a new banner hero, so we got to talk about it. So should you summon or skip for the new hero, Notia? Let's get into it. But before we do, make sure you go and check out our second channel, Exis Media. You can find the link for it in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. We cover a lot of gacha-related content over there, so definitely please help out Exis and go check it out today. All right. So we're going to go into recruit here. Now we have Notia recruit. As you can see, I'm about 47 away from pity. Spoiler alert, I will be trying to pick her up. She's a very, very strong hero. I don't know why she's not showing up. Oh, there we go. So there's our girl Notia. Go ahead and check out the skill preview here. Show you guys and gals kind of what her skills are all about. We kind of already did a video showcasing her skills and kind of going over them. But we're going to go ahead and do it again in today's video in case you did miss that. So her skill 1 attacks an enemy and increases the caster's priority by 20%. You know, we got other units that can do that in the game already, like Ren, for example. However, it gets kind of interesting. If the caster has fierce offensive, the effect is applied to all allies. That means not only will she give herself a priority push of 20%, she will give your whole team a priority push of 20%, which can be utilized in some cool combos. Like if you pair that up with, let's say, a Valentine, for example, with her basic ability, you're essentially pushing your top DPS 40% between the two. That's a lot of priority push. That's insane. So burst effect. So at level 1, she gets a +1 turn to fierce offensive, +2 turns of poisoned on target, increased damage, and at level 3, if you get her to 5-star, she changes to enhanced skill, targets all enemies, and increases damage dealt, which means that poison now becomes AoE, and you're going to be doing more damage. You're going to be priority pushing your whole team. That's a lot of value in a basic ability that has, of course, no cooldown. Now, her passive, skill 2, this has a 2-turn cooldown. Activates Crystal Storm when an ally lands a debuff on their turn. Excuse me. Crystal Storm attacks all enemies and inflicts reduced attack on all targets, which is going to be a 30% attack reduction. If the caster has fierce offensive, inflicts poison on all enemies for 2 turns. If the target is a healer, additionally inflicts silence. Now that is massive for units like Mine and Tio. And we also confirmed, and you'll see that in a later video as well in a PvP fight, that silence is going to trigger before Tio can trigger, which means Tio is rendered useless against the might of our girl Notia. Very, very cool there. So a silence, a poison, and reduced attack, and an AoE, all wrapped into a passive if you have fierce offensive. Now to get fierce offensive, okay, we're going to use her ultimate. Weakness gauge reduction 3, cooldown 4 turns, attacks all enemies, so this is an AoE attack. After attacking, increases the caster's priority by 30%. So she increases her own priority by 30% and grants fierce offensive for 3 turns. So let's go ahead and pop that real quick. Okay, and now you can see here that she has the buff, Fierce Offensive, increases damage dealt to enemies and enhances certain skill effects. Cannot be removed cannot be removed before Notia is slain. So that is a very, very powerful buff right there, because it's also opening up the floodgates for the rest of her abilities, for her passive and for her basic ability. And you know, we're going to be talking about some shenanigans when we look at her EE as well, because that really opens up the door even further of what she's capable of doing in, you know, modes like PvP. So let's go and use her burst now. Well, actually, let's do it before we do the burst, okay? Let's do a normal basic ability first, okay? So that's a normal one without a crit. She did like 921, right? Now let's go ahead and let's go and go all the way to the top. Let's go all the way to burst level 3, enhance attack, attack all enemies. Now let's check it out. So look at that. So she put multiple stacks of poison. Now what happened there, and this is a very good example of how powerful this hero really is, she can trigger her own passive. So we put the poisons on there initially and gave her a priority increase because of her burst, right? And we did additional damage. But since she activated a debuff on her turn, her passive also triggered the Crystal Storm. So she did more poisons and the attack down. And since there's no healers there, obviously there is no silence. So that is very, very powerful. Look what she was able to do by herself using a burst on a basic attack. You have 2 stacks of poisons and an attack down on every enemy. You did AoE damage twice. I mean, that's incredible, right? And this is a ranger hero, so her base speed is going to be quite high. So now that we kind of, taken a little look into kind of what she's able to do here, let's go and look at her base stats real quick and talk about her exclusive equipment before we get out of here. This is a very, very good hero. All right, so again, definitely a summon for me. Spoiler alert yet again, in case you were kind of coming in middle of the video. Let's go over here to the codex, though. Where's she at? A girl, Notia. I have not pulled her myself, unfortunately. Not yet. I didn't have very many pulls to work with, but I will definitely be planning to get her. So, her basic attack stat is 924, which is higher than Valentine. The reason for that is because she is a Vanguard. I don't know why it's not letting me see it. I don't know why the freaking codex does this sometimes. I'm trying to click and, long press it to have stuff pop up. It doesn't want to do it. It does it in the regular hero menu, though. I don't know why. Whatever. But anyways, her subclass, she's a ranger, but her subclass is Vanguard, which means she's getting more attack and more damage multipliers on all 3 of her skills. So she will hit somewhat pretty decently, even for a ranger that has a little bit less base attack than your, prototypical DPS. But she's going to be able to hit pretty dang hard if you build her accordingly. Plus her base speed is 154 because she is a 3-star ranger. So her stat distribution right now is actually looking pretty dang good. 180 evasion, that's pretty decent. 154 speed, almost 4k health, almost 400 defense, and a little over 900 attack. Very, very good for what she's able to do. So you definitely want to try and stack a lot of damage on her as best you can. Maybe even get a little bit of effectiveness if you can from some of your substats. That would also, of course, help with her debuffs. So there's that. And then her Transcendence, she gets all team attack plus 5%, and then she gets another 5% at 6-star. So you're going to be getting a total of 10% attack to your team if you have her at 6-star. But even at 4-star, which all of you will have her at if you pull her or get her from your pity, 5% is still pretty dang good, right? So that 5% will be applied 5% will be applied to her base of 924. So that's not a bad little attack increase, just by default. And then she also gives it 2 other units as well, as we said. So the last thing to really look at here is what is her exclusive equipment. Back to the codex. We're going to go down here to gear. We're going to go all the way over here to, I went too far. We're going over here to exclusive equipment. Hopefully they put it at the bottom. They did. So, accuracy to water, 30. That's pretty big because, for those mean age running around you want to try and deal with, that's going to be really nice. Also, Veronica's too. Again, another solid one there. Rin as well. And there's some good water units that are in the meta right now in PvP especially. That's going to be very strong. And then, of course, against, blue bosses, even better. So, grants Fierce Offensive for 1 turn at the start of the battle. Now, this is massive for PvP because what this is going to allow you to do is now you don't need to make her the fastest, offensive unit in your PvP team. Now she can actually go after somebody else because it'll still trigger her passive because she already has the she already has the Fierce Offensive for 1 turn already applied to herself. Whereas before, if you didn't have this EE, she would have to go first, and then you would have to use a unit that has debuffing. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get that free passive AoE off. Now, you can make her as fast as you really want. You can make her go faster, you can make her go slower with more damage. There's a lot of different things that you can now do with this because this is massive. This is almost a must-have if you want to run her efficiently in PvP. So this is a pretty dang good exclusive equipment for her. So that is her basically in a nutshell. And again, should you summon or skip for her? You should 110% summon for her. We have not really had any units that's released since global launch that are really skippable. They've all been really, really good units. Some of them are even power creeps. These are just really strong heroes. Maybe one day we will have a unit that I do say, hey, just skip it. Don't use your pity on it. You can move on. You can wait for something else. but we have not reached that day yet. We'll have to see what the future holds. I still enjoy making these videos, so don't forget to like, subscribe, tick notifications, join us in the Discord in the description below, and don't forget to let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this hero? Is this truly a naughty? No, I messed up my my end line here. Oh boy, is she truly Naughty Notia? There we go, because that's what I want to call her from now on, Naughty Notia, because she just seems like a real dirty player, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So again, let me know what y'all think about her in the comment section below. And I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget to, of course, follow us on Twitter and X's Media. Until next time, peace.